Welcome back to my channel, guys. Useless Skills. So I did a video recently about the PlayStation Portal, and I wanted to find a discerning opinion, basically a different opinion from mine. And this guy here, his name is C Kid, has a bigger YouTube channel than I do, and he goes over the PlayStation Portal as well. But he has positive things to say, or rather, he's looking forward to the PlayStation Portal. So I just wanted to go over some, what that might look like, somebody that wants the PlayStation Portal, and his opinions as to why he might want it, and see if we can either debunk some of the theories he might have about it, or, maybe get excited for it. Let's find out. Now, he goes over, I saw this video a little bit already, he goes over a little bit into like the console wars that a lot of people still have in their heads from back in the day. I'm not really a console war person. I have both consoles. I don't really care, or not both consoles. I have all consoles. I have Switch, Xbox, a Nintendo. Switch and Nintendo, and PlayStation. I have 2 PlayStations to be exact. So I'm good. Like, I don't care about the war. I just care about playing good games. So that being said, I'll have a video up about Starfield and how you can play Starfield for people that only own a PlayStation. You don't have to get an Xbox to play Starfield. You should watch that video after this. I'm going to try to upload it around the same time. All right, let's get into it.
That all of the people out there that are saying that the PlayStation Portal is not worth it, it's a waste of money, it's PlayStation 3 tech. Listen, you're all wrong, and you're missing the whole point.
PlayStation 3 tech, that's
as well
good.
as the benefits of owning one if you guys are PlayStation owners. So in this video right here, we're going to be breaking down why I personally feel that the PlayStation Portal is necessary, and why Sony PlayStation decided to finally release this product to us PlayStation owners. So let's go ahead and break it down.
Let's break it down.
So for starters here, I just want to put this out here. I'm only talking to my PlayStation owners or soon-to-be PlayStation owners. If you guys are Xbox game, then listen. This convo here ain't for you to even weigh in on. I still got love for my Xbox game.
All right, now I don't agree. Again, like I said, I feel anybody can weigh in on this topic, whether you own a PlayStation or are thinking about owning a PlayStation, or own a different console and don't own a PlayStation. You can still weigh in on your opinions. I don't understand why your opinions would be so heated, I guess I would say, if you don't own a PlayStation. Like, if you're not going to use it, I don't understand why your opinions are so heated. But you can have opinions about it. I'm not like this guy. I believe anybody can weigh in on things. Doesn't matter.
Because look, I got an Xbox Series S in the cut too.
So there you go.
The PlayStation Remote Play is not new by any means.
No, it ain't.
It was tech that did come out when the PlayStation 3 was
correct.
out. So you guys already know, like, that's just been some years in the making. A lot of people out there that are claiming that this is a waste of money, and why did Sony even come out with this?
Correct.
Here's why. Like, all of us PlayStation gamers out there, we all know that PlayStation Remote Play, when you guys play it on either a smartphone, whether it's an Apple or an Android device, it's not the greatest experience.
It is
and
not.
When you play it on something like a tablet, say you got an iPad
it's still
or
not that
a
great.
Galaxy Tab S8 or S9 Ultra, still not the best experience. Even if you got a PC or a
dedicated
Mac,
to gaming,
it's still not the
still
greatest
not
experience.
great.
On
because it's streaming.
We're using Remote Play on all of these other devices that I just mentioned, and yes, I've tried and played it on each one of these devices types that I mentioned, and I've always had literally the exact same experience of having to either compromise on visual quality, slight game lag, or control setup, and just other issues that I've faced in the past. What I'm trying to say is, even though PlayStation Remote Play is an app that is able to be downloaded and used on these devices, the devices themselves were really never designed and created to handle such high-quality gaming, computing, and setup like that. Right? So think about it. Your PlayStation.
So right there, I have something to say. Most smartphones today are capable of streaming high-quality games. Maybe not, again, at like the best resolution, but if you have good, let's say, Wi-Fi, it should be able to stream. Like I said, I have no problem streaming the Game Pass, which again is just from a different server. So it's not really a difference, because it's still just streaming. Like that's where I'm like the disconnect that I don't understand how it's going to be different on this device than it would be on anything else. There's even, like I said, like a gaming PC. I have a gaming laptop specific for gaming that I still use Remote Play on, and still it's buggy and laggy, and that has nothing to do with the laptop or the capability of the laptop or the fact that the resolution or whatever. It's literally because it is the Wi-Fi connection is not great wherever I'm at that is streaming from my home,
It has to have have a good connection. Then on top of that, the device that you guys are connecting it to, whether it's a smartphone or a tablet or a PC or a Mac, has to also have that same connection to it. And then on top of that, you're passing that connection from the console in itself that you guys see here behind me, and then to the actual device or the smartphone that you guys are using. See, there's a whole lot of interference that could pass in between that, which tends to cause a lot of issues, all because those devices were never designed for that purpose. Yes, they can run it. I get that.
Okay.
But again, it wasn't created for that purpose.
They weren't created for the purpose.
You know what? Let's go ahead and create a handheld extension that is actually made for PS Remote Play. So that way PlayStation users like myself can finally utilize this dope feature without having to compromise on any of the issues that we've had in the past with PlayStation Remote Play, because those devices, again, wasn't meant for it. For example, no other device right now that is currently using and running PS Remote Play can actually wake up your PS5 or your PS4 all by just picking up the device and turning it on, which to me, I feel like with this PlayStation Portal is a clutch feature, because me personally, I hate having to come in here all the time, turn on my PS5,
100%, that's the worst. And then you have to go outside.
Just be able to play using my Remote Play in another room. But with the PlayStation Portal, I ain't got to do that no more. I can literally just pick it up, turn it on wherever I'm at. It's going to power on my PlayStation in here.
So, like I said in my video, that's literally the only good feature about the PlayStation Portal that I can see, is that you don't have to leave your PlayStation on when you go outside to, to use Remote Play. You literally could have your PlayStation off and then turn it on, I guess, with this device. Again, the reason that you're going to be able to, and I'm pretty sure that Sony's going to do an update on the PlayStation so that it can do that, link up with the PlayStation Portal once it's out. You'll be able to do that. They can still release this update and make it available so you can do that from the app, the Remote Play app, on any device. It's not specific to it. It doesn't need to be specific to the PlayStation Portal. They're making it be specific to the PlayStation Portal, because again, the only way that the PlayStation Portal is going to be able to connect to your PlayStation at home is via Wi-Fi. So you have Wi-Fi at your home connected to your PlayStation, so that when it turns on, it automatically connects to your Wi-Fi at home, and you have to have good Wi-Fi at that. And then whenever you're going somewhere, so if you go to a Starbucks or you go, like I said, I'm mostly talking about people that are going to try to use this outside of the home. I don't understand, or not understand. I don't really understand, but I don't really think that a lot of people are going to just use this in the home. Like a $200 device just to use in your home where you already have a PlayStation, to not play on a big screen, to play on the smaller screen, doesn't really make sense to me. I guess for maybe like an hour or two if the main TV is, being held, but to spend $200 on a device just for that, when you can literally just unplug the PlayStation and plug it into another TV, or buy a TV that's $200 that you can just use personally. Again, like I didn't mention that in my video, but still, it's $200. You can literally buy a very good, very high quality TV right now for $200. They're not that expensive, like the Amazon ones or whatever. Like it's not sure, it's not going to be the best, but it's still better than a small device. You know what I mean? Like there's 55-inch TVs for $200. Anyway, I digress. I forgot the whole point of what I was saying. The point is, this device, just because it's able to turn on your PlayStation, that is just an update that they're going to do on the PlayStation for this device to be able to do that, which they can again do from the Remote App Play. It doesn't have to be just this device that turns on your PlayStation. That doesn't make any sense. The fact that he's saying also that the quality of the stream, because again, it's just streaming, everything he just mentioned about every other device having to, basically have a device that's connected to Wi-Fi, that's also going to be connected to the Wi-Fi in your home, that's connected to your PlayStation, that's still going to happen with the PlayStation Portal. So I don't understand why he's holding the PlayStation Portal to this like different standard, as if it's going to behave differently using Wi-Fi. Like, it's still a device. Yes, it's a device specifically made for this Remote Play, but that doesn't inherently make it, like, just because there are other apps on, let's say, an iPhone, or other apps on your tablet, or other things that your laptop can do, it connects to Wi-Fi the same as any other device that would connect to Wi-Fi. There's no like special Wi-Fi chip that the PlayStation Portal is going to have that's going to make it less buggy. And even in all of the promotional material for the PlayStation Portal, they state that you have to have a good connection at home for your PlayStation and a good connection wherever you're using the PlayStation Portal. So I don't understand why the difference in quality is going to be just because the device is specifically designed for remote play. I don't get that.
Now,
maybe he knows something I don't know. I don't know.
Is the fact that they legit chop a DualSense. Hold on, let me grab it. They legit chopped a DualSense controller in half and still able to give us all of the dope features that is already.
All right, that is cool. Yeah, that's also a positive. Yes.
Agree that the DualSense controller.
That's another positive that I said in my video. Yes, the DualSense controller, the fact that it's between just a giant little screen, that's pretty great. And also the fact that, you know, you can use all of the haptic feedback and all the stuff that the controller has, which also makes me question why they didn't release the battery life, because they didn't release it in any of the promotional material yet. So we don't know how long this thing's going to last. But the remote doesn't last very long, so I don't know if this device is going to last very long. But I assume it'll last long because it's not like, it doesn't have any, like, you know, it doesn't need any real processing power to just have a screen that projects an image, because it's not really doing anything in and of itself. The system or device is not really behaving like it. It's not like a Switch or like a Steam Deck. Like, there's nothing going on inside of it that's processing raw data right then and there. It's just literally streaming from another device. So it should technically have a higher battery life than the controller, hopefully. But again, most handhelds don't have a long battery life anyway. So even if it has a really long battery life, that's great. But that's not the real issue that we have with it. And again, it's great that it has two controllers within it. These are all positive features, and I mentioned them in my video, and that's great. And again, if you want one, I don't know if I mentioned this in the video, but you guys can definitely go out and get one if you really want a PlayStation Portal. I just want you guys to understand the pros and cons, and how I feel there's more cons than pros. And again, this video is not really changing my mind on that so far.
As well as the DualSense Edge controller is literally the GOAT out here. And if you don't believe me, and you got another controller that you feel can beat this one, then I'll wait. Go ahead and put some is the USB-C port for charging. You also get an audio headphone jack for gaming headphones of choice, which to me, I always use. Let me grab them here. I always use my Astro A40s here, which to me is just goated in my opinion as far.
Okay, so that is a good headset, and that's a headset that also has a cord. So, like I said, I use wireless headsets, so the fact that you need a cord in order to be able to play the Portal is, to me, a ding for the device, a con, not a pro. But if you already have a wired headset and you use wired headsets, you're not really going to feel much of a difference if you get the Portal and just use wired headsets.
Even when I'm gaming on something like my Sony A80L TV here that's behind me, I usually just plug this right here right into the controller, and then I'm able to chat
with
all of my friends or whatever whenever we getting busy in COD. So the fact that all of those features that I just talked about is literally carried over, and I'm able to take my PS5 literally with me anywhere and no longer have to be tied down to a certain room in the house, but yet I'm still able to get that same gaming experience. For a second. Now, it does support Wi-Fi and PlayStation Link instead of Bluetooth. Now, I'll be the first one to admit it would have been nice for them to give us Bluetooth.
It would have.
I do understand why they didn't, and we're going to talk about
that. I
don't
don't understand.
Now, let's go ahead and start with Wi-Fi connectivity. I think one thing that you guys should know is that, yes, you can actually play this on your home network, as I'm pretty sure you guys already know that. But to me, the biggest selling point is the fact that you can play this on another Wi-Fi network as long as it's strong enough to be able to drive a good connection. And yes, you could do that with like your smartphone and all of that. But again, those systems aren't made for that. And so I'm expecting with this system here is that...
See the words that he's using. He's expecting. So he's just making a big assumption about a device. But that's not how Wi-Fi works. Like, I don't understand... I assume he understands how Wi-Fi works. He's used remote play before. It doesn't matter what, like, it doesn't matter if the device is just an empty vessel, like literally just a screen that's just meant for streaming. If your connection to the network is not strong enough, the stream will still lag. The stream will still be buggy. The stream will still be lagging. Like, it's just, that's how it works. It's how the internet works. It's not like the internet doesn't change which device you use. Like, just because I have a more modern, let's say, a more modern computer, it might run faster, it might do things faster just because it's processing faster, like, by itself. But its connection to the internet is the same. If the connection to the internet sucks at like a hotel or something, or where I'm staying at, whether I'm using a brand new 2023 Mac, tablet or laptop, whatever it is, or a 2020 one or a 2019 or 2018 one, whatever, it's still going to have the same connection to the Wi-Fi. It's not going to be good. Like, it's still going to run, like if I open up the internet, it's still going to be slow to open Google or images or whatever, what have you, because it's still going to run slowly. If I open Netflix, it's still going to buffer the video before it can play because of the connection to the internet, not because of the device. I don't know if he understands that, though.
I'm going to be able to have a clean connection without hardly any lag or anything like that, even though I'm not on my home network. So, for example, let's say you guys are halfway across the world and you want to get some Horizon Zero Dawn in. Then all you got to do is just connect it up to your hotel's Wi-Fi and you're just good to go.
Right. Again, you could still do this with remote play, but I just don't think that he understands that it's not going to be different just because of the device. Like, the device being just specifically for remote play, again, unless I'm missing something and there's some kind of proprietary technology that they built into this that just like defies the laws of the internet, then that I don't know, like it has its own satellite link from, like, Sony owns a satellite in space and it has its own link directly to the Sony satellite that then gives you like excellent Wi-Fi everywhere you go. Then I understand. But if it's not, then just having the device doesn't make the connection to that device better than having your iPhone or having a tablet or whatever. Like, it doesn't make it better. It might have, the resolution might be better just because of the screen, but that doesn't mean that the connection to your PlayStation is going to be better, which means your Call of Duty session might still lag because of the internet.
Next thing is, when it comes to connectivity, is applications. So let's talk about that. So no, there are no basic applications that you guys can download on this thing like Netflix or anything like that, like you can with the Asus ROG Ally that I talked about here on the channel.
That's another handheld.
Which to me, I'll be 100% honest with you guys, was the one thing that I did not like about the Asus ROG Ally was the fact that although it was aimed at gamers for being a handheld gaming device, it still felt too much like a PC versus a dedicated gaming device.
I mean, it was just a PC that you can, it's literally, it was aimed at gamers, but it's like a gaming PC that's a handheld, like like all the other gaming PC handhelds that are coming out now, like the Steam Deck or whatever. So, okay, let's see what else he has to say.
The focus being gaming and just a full extension of your PlayStation is also coming out with their brand new line of Gaming Pulse Explore wireless earbuds, as well as their PlayStation Pulse Elite headphones. So how this actually works is you're going to have this whole dongle piece here that they're going to give you, and then from there you're going to plug that right into your PlayStation. And then once it's in your PlayStation, the earbuds as well as the Plus Elite headphones can connect to that in order for you guys to be able to use the handheld portable device. Now, I know a lot of people is like, well, why can't I just Bluetooth these right into the system? And I get that. But what you guys have to understand is Sony is trying to create their own ecosystem of products that are specific to their gaming consoles. And
now, he says this, hold on.
Before all of you guys get bent out of shape over it, it's no different than what Samsung did with the Galaxy Watch.
All right. So I do understand that most companies want to have like their own environment. Their own devices work with only themselves, obviously to sell you more devices. So why doesn't it work with the gaming headphones that they already provide? You understand? Like the Pulse 3D ones that I showed you in the last video that I have, those should just work. Like, it doesn't make sense. Now, the reason that most people are upset is because you can also have the PlayStation Link option. Like, nobody's saying that you can't have PlayStation Link and then have these more expensive headphones that if you want to have or want to get, you can. But have Bluetooth built in so that the headphones that people already bought from PlayStation should work. Like, that's the thing that doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense for me to have to buy new Sony headphones to work with a specific device that, again, is not a proprietary, not a proprietary, I love using proprietary, not a proprietary device, but like its own console. You understand? Like, this is an accessory to a console that I now have to get accessories for. That is the real big issue. So it should already have Bluetooth built in, and it could have the PlayStation Link so that it's optional if you want, better probably sound quality or whatever with the PlayStation Link. You can get those more expensive headphones if you want to do those things. But to not have the ability to have Bluetooth connectivity is a big hindrance because, again, their own products already had Bluetooth capability. So it doesn't make sense for them to just go away from it. And most of the ecosystem companies most of the companies that try to do that in the ecosystem thing, where like, for example, Apple, which is now getting praised for having USB-C attached to their phones because, I think the UK sued them for not doing that. So now all of the iPhones are going to have USB-C. So everyone's going to have cables across the board from Samsung to iPhones to different type of things because USB-C is a better, cable, and it's just basically used worldwide. So it's just so much better to like have devices that are already ready for those things. And Apple was just using the lightning cable to like try to be its own ecosystem thing. But even within Apple itself, it was crumbling apart. Like when they took away the headphone jack, but you had to use the lightning cable headphones in order to have wired headphones. So getting wired headphones for your iPhone were like is basically a nightmare. And then the same thing, and then they took away like basically every port. So now you had to have wireless headphones, and if you didn't have wireless headphones, but they allowed you to use any wireless headphones, which with Bluetooth. But I digress. The point is, even if you're going to do your own ecosystem thing, it should still help with the products that people already buy from you. So if I already have PlayStation headphones, even if, let's say, they don't want you to use any Bluetooth headphones, as long as they're Sony, I feel like that should work. And Sony makes a lot of Bluetooth headphones, not just the ones for PlayStation. But again, I digress. I knock them for not including Bluetooth and the PlayStation Link. I understand why the PlayStation Link is included. I just don't understand why it's only PlayStation Link. And just because they're trying to build an ecosystem, basically to get more money out of us, that's not a good enough excuse.
Will profit more because they no longer have to worry about the cost of a physical disc in production, increasing their overall margins because they can still charge us digital gamers the same $60 or $70 for a game,
which is
just
bullshit.
like it was with the physical disc. And if you ask me, and I gotta be 100% honest,
you gotta admit it's bullshit.
Yes, that is still a ripoff.
That is bullshit. Yeah.
It should not cost
100%.
the same as a physical
100%.
disc version, since there is not a physical disc anymore.
Correct.
Or a cover for that
to
matter.
distribute,
it should
nothing.
just cost at least $10 to $15 off of that normal $60 to $70.
All right. So somewhere in there, he started arguing about the fact that Sony's moving more towards digital only distribution. They don't want to do physical distribution. I am a proponent of physical media. I love physical media. All of my games that I buy, well, majority of them, I try to buy physical because I've been burned before with digital. A lot of it from PlayStation, actually. I bought a bunch of PlayStation games back in the PlayStation 4 era that I downloaded that I guess Sony lost the licensing for, so they no longer carry the licenses, so that when I transferred over now to PlayStation 5, they're still on my PlayStation 4 because I downloaded them there and they're there. But unless I can take them out onto a hard drive or some kind of device, I can then put it onto my PlayStation 5. I can't just re-download them on the PlayStation 5 because they don't have the licenses anymore. Either way, the point is I like to have physical copies of my games because I don't want that to happen where I don't have access to those games anymore. Because I keep my console, so I would just play them on the old console if they don't play on the new console, so that doesn't matter to me. So I'm very much a proponent of physical media, not so much digital media, even though digital media is great. It's easy for convenience, but I do agree that if you buy a game digitally, it shouldn't be the same price as physically. And that's a lot of I guess the companies like Walmart and Target and GameStop and all these places kind of just pushing or pressuring game creators like Sony and Microsoft or whatever to include the same price in their stores, like in the Microsoft store or in the PlayStation store, because if there's a difference, obviously people would buy it more digitally. Like if it's a brand new game, like let's say the Spider-Man 2 game's coming out, and that is going to be, instead of $70, it's going to be $65 or $60 or $55. Most people would buy it digitally instead of physically because it's cheaper. And it's the same game, which would make sense because you're not dealing with distribution. You don't have to make anything. You don't have to ship it anywhere. All these things, that the cost of actual making the discs and shipping them would be cut from the price of this, of the game. So that doesn't make sense why they're the same price. But that's where I that's the only place that I'm I'll give the caveat to the digital. But being digital only to me is not okay because distributors, even just streaming services like Netflix and HBO right now, is proving that they can just take the stuff right off. Like, there are complete seasons of episodes and movies that were on HBO that are no longer available because they just decided to take it off of their network. So at the end of the day, if you don't have the physical copy, you'll never be able to enjoy those things again. So I think having physical copies of things is worth it, and you should get those things. If you can only go digital, or if you only want digital, that's also okay. I'm just not a proponent for digital. So for Sony to be pushing for digital only just because of this device, I don't think that's the reason. But also, if they are, I'm not really going to be okay with that because, again, it's not user friendly, if that makes sense. And I'm all about the user because I'm a user.
$70 price point. But to me, this is the real major play with coming out with a handheld console like this. I'm assuming it's going to be on par with something like the Asus ROG Ally, as well as the Steam Deck when it comes to the battery life. I personally, though, I just hope that it's not the same battery life that, we get on this DualSense Edge controller.
I think it's going to be better.
This is definitely one of my pain points with this controller. If you guys want to know some more thoughts that I did on this controller, huge selling point to this is now I can actually stream out from this PlayStation Portal using the USB port that's on the bottom of this controller, and I can plug it right into a monitor or something like that and then run it through OBS. And now I got a full gaming setup here, all using this without having to actually drag along my entire PlayStation and set it up on my desk, because y'all already know the PlayStation 5 is... That bad boy is a big boy.
It's big boy.
In the end, right,
all right,
who is this product for, and why would you even buy it in the first place? Listen, yes, this is a $200 remote play system to be able to play all of your games on that are on your PlayStation consoles, and I get that. But let's say, for example, your significant other or kids want to actually use a TV to watch their favorite TV shows, but you just got a call from your boys or a text from the crew, and it's time to link up and get into some Warzone. Well, this is a system that you guys don't have to now sacrifice that TV time for ever again, and everyone now in the house is happy because you can get your gaming in and they can get their favorite shows in. Now, is it perfect? I'm sure there's probably going to be some things that I would like to see as far as improvements on it when I actually get one here in the house, and I'm still working on that. So, Sony, if you're watching this video, hook your boy up with one, man. Give me that early access. Fly me out to the headquarters to get some hands-on.
I hope they do, my guy. I hope they do.
Plane ticket and hotel. Let's go. But for real, man, I think this is a dope device where I can actually...
Now, okay. I'm glad he's happy about it, and I'm glad he wants it. Like, that's great. I don't particularly see it the same way. Again, I highly doubt that that's the only TV in his house, where he's saying in the example of kids wanting to watch TV, but he has to link up with, to play Call of Duty. Pretty sure he has a specific TV specifically for his gaming needs, like I do. Like most people do. Like most people have either a computer setup or a TV setup just for their gaming. Like I don't believe that there is a household where there's not a television that's specifically to someone for that. You understand? Like, it doesn't make sense. Even if it's family gaming, like even if you have a TV where your console's plugged in and it's everybody's PlayStation, where everybody uses it. And in that case, I understand, she's using the PlayStation right now, or he's using the PlayStation right now, so I'm not going to use the PlayStation. Well, but then you can't use the PlayStation Portal anyway because it's not a secondary thing. That's why, again, I feel like money is more well spent on either another TV if that's your problem. If you only have one TV where the PlayStation can be played, and you have to share the TV, not the PlayStation, because the PlayStation Portal doesn't save the fact that you have to share the PlayStation. So you either buy another TV for $200, and then you can play your PlayStation whenever the hell you want, and or you just earn or save a little more and get $400 and just get a digital like he has to then put it on another screen where you can, again, it's a proprietary PlayStation that's yours, so you can play whenever you want. So that's why it doesn't make sense to me why someone would spend $200 on a device. Like I said, if the price goes down, then we can revisit and re-talk about why it would be beneficial, because it is, an accessory to a console. The way that he's talking about it to me seems more like he thinks it's a console. Even with this idea of what he's saying, that a lot of people, he said, aren't talking about it, but I think it's because of the very glaring reason that I think he's going to find out the hard way. Plugging this device into, because it has a USB, right? Like he said, plugging it into the USB and just OBS gear and streaming from this PlayStation Portal. Again, if you have great Wi-Fi, that probably is possible. Again, from your home, that's probably possible. But then why would you not just use your PlayStation? And I understand for him, you know, taking the PlayStation, well, for anybody, because the PlayStation it's a hefty device to have to unplug and replug and move it to a desk just to do a thing. I understand it's like a lot of process, but it's a lot better because, again, you're getting directly, like, you're already streaming, right? If you're using the PlayStation Portal to do the streaming, you're already streaming your PlayStation to the PlayStation Portal, which then you are going to be streaming live across the internet to other people. Like, I know Wi-Fi is strong. Like, I live in New York. I have pretty good Wi-Fi, and that's why I'm able to even stream for you guys when I can. I do stream sometimes. But to have the level of streaming where you're streaming your PlayStation, so it's already on your Wi-Fi, and you're basically connecting your PlayStation to the Wi-Fi to then stream to the PlayStation Portal that's also going to be on your home Wi-Fi to then run the OBS gear and all the stuff to stream on your computer or whatever, which is also going to be on your home Wi-Fi, is really going to bring down the streaming capability of that PlayStation Portal. Again, in my opinion, unless I'm missing some kind of fantastical, magical device that this PlayStation Portal thing is going to be able to do. And I hope that I am, actually, because if that's true, then I would say, hey, get the PlayStation Portal. It's totally worth it. But I don't think that it's going to, again, defy the laws of the internet. So, that being said, I've talked on and on about this for a long time. So, let me know what you guys think. Like I said, I like viewing discerning opinions. If you have a good video where you think somebody has a good opinion that I can either debunk or that I haven't debunked here or that you think might change my mind, just, you know, send it to me, hit it in the comments down below. I'll definitely check it out. This is the stuff that I'm kind of interested in. So, yeah, let me know what you guys think about this video. If you want more things like this, and C Kid, his channel's right there on the corner, left corner, but I'll include the link to this specific video so you guys can check out his channel if you want. And yeah, let me know what you guys think. This has been a useless skill. Thanks.